Hey guys, Steve here. Just wanted to give a little message about self-care or self-leadership. It was prompted by a number of things and a number of conversations, and then something I heard from another pastor. And in this time of stress, in a time of turmoil, in a time of anxiety, where we've got all these emotions, we've got all these stories coming at us from people we love and care for, family and friends, or even strangers, and then the news is just all this stuff that comes at us. And if we try and take all that in ourselves and carry it ourselves, we can easily burn out. A very famous story of burnout in the scriptures is when Elijah in 1 Kings 18, he's defeated the prophets of Baal and God vindicated him. This amazing, dramatic intervention and moment of sort of spiritual warfare and hugely amazing emotional high, but then it led to a real crash. And in chapter 19, and read 1 Kings 19, Elijah sort of breaks down. He's gone from defeating all these prophets of Baal in chapter 18 to being fearful of one woman, Jezebel. He's gone from being all triumphant, and he says in verse 5 of 1 Kings 19, I want to die. He's got quite delusional, and he hasn't got mental clarity, so he thinks he's the only one out there that's doing anything for God. And that's not true. And so he's lost perspective in the whole thing. And God meets him through an angel and then in person. And it's fascinating what God does to replenish Elijah. The first thing he does is he tells him to eat and to sleep twice. Go and have a read of 1 Kings 19. The angel says, you just need to sleep. You need to eat. Then the angel says, then God gives him a personal encounter. And remember, it's not in the wind, it's not in the fire, it's not in the earthquake. It's in the still, small voice. We're thinking about Psalm 46, verse 10. Be still and know that I am God. This was Elijah's moment of being still and knowing that he was God and he was still in control and he was going to take care of Elijah and the situation. So Elijah was what you might call burnt out mentally, emotionally, and spiritually, and he was relationally isolated, and God restored him and replenished him. And so we need to think at this time, what are we doing to make sure we're restored and replenished? We could quickly give into sort of feverish, self-confident or anxious activity and prayer and constantly on the go and burn out in a month or in 2 months. So we need to take care that we don't burn out. We need to look after ourselves. For many years, I've been taking different leaders in Christ City Church through these self-leadership dials. It's something I found so helpful. It's 4 dials, and they go through your physical, your emotional, your spiritual, and your relational health. And they help you sort of examine and do a self-examination. Where am I physically with sleep and diet and exercise and energy levels? And then it goes through emotions. Am I feeling low and despondent? Do I struggle to make decisions? Those kind of things. Then it goes through relationships. Have I got any tensions? Am I being restored by anyone? Is there someone that brings joy and fun into my life and spiritual encouragement? And then it goes through spiritually, like how's my prayer? How's my zeal for God, my desire to share the gospel? I really suggest you have a look at it and that idea of taking care of yourself during this time. Don't end up burnt out because you was just constantly on the go. Detach from social media, detach from the news. Find this quiet center in God. Be still and know that he is God in this time. It's not on your shoulders. It's on his. Give it to him. Give yourself a rest. Okay? God bless, guys.